Testing our sound. Good morning. If anyone's here, let me know if you can hear me. I see. Hello, friends. I welcome you. We have another minute here, so I'll let you get settled. I'm arriving early. Imagine that. Hi, Mary. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you. Cool. I was just realizing that if I muted something else on here, it muted this the speakers. So always learning and playing with the controls. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Let's get started. So welcome. I'm glad to know that you're all tuning in today. I thank you for being here. It's Annie from Eat Move Milwaukee. Thanks for joining me in my home studio once again for our practice. So a few housekeeping bits or some thoughts that I'd love to share. Thank you for your patience this week as we shifted the schedule a bit. I know there was a little bit of confusion with no Monday morning gentle yoga. So I thank you for rolling with those changes. I actually took a very intentional screen break for a full 3 days, which was glorious. It was much needed. So I was glad that I could kind of roll that into Monday since there are no in-person classes this week. So I thank you for bearing with those slight changes. So we're here this morning for gentle, and then tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, Christmas Eve, 8 o'clock a.m., yoga zone. So again, another slight change from the normal schedule. Hopefully you'll join us. And then there's always the archived video if you happen to tune in at the same time at 9 o'clock, at the same time as usual. So thank you. Like I said, I found this time away from screens to be very helpful, very cleansing, very peaceful. It's amazing how much we can rely or just be attached to those things sometimes. And I don't even have a smartphone. So that was good. That was a good thing to do. I spent a lot of the weekend out in nature hiking. It was just very cleansing. Good way to kind of set myself up to feel more prepared in mind, body, and spirit for the holidays. So on that note, a couple of musings from Annie. It's interesting to see how one then returns from a break of that sort. Admittedly, it was really easy to rush back into the flurry and the screens and whatever. I know now that it's easier to get away from that, but it's easy to get caught back up in that very quickly in that cycle. So maybe the holidays have felt a little bit less intense for you since we're in this pandemic, and maybe visits are limited or other activities are limited. But I know that in my world, there's still there are a lot of demands in this week and next around the holidays, and I embrace that. I'm grateful for those things that people want to do and that they need. But with limited availability, it can be challenging. So I found myself this morning walking to the lake for my morning walk, and I said to myself, I just got to keep this machine in motion today, which is what I often find on those busy days. And I thought, why? What about finding some stillness, even for an hour or 45 minutes for a practice? So as a yoga teacher, there's often a misconception that I'm like super zen, or we as yoga teachers are super zen, we are always relaxed, and no, not true. you know this. You know I'm high energy type A. So it is also through my practice or my work of guiding you that I find that center. So gratitude for showing up and giving me this opportunity to keep coming back to my own center. The practice isn't about me, but it certainly helps me to take 45 minutes to be a little bit more still in my life. So again, random musings today. I wanted to share that with you. So I'll be putting a blog post out after the new year. I thought about cramming the blog post in this week, and it was this blog post about finding calm, and I thought, why would I do that? Why would I rush to write this blog post about calm when many people might not have the time right now? You got it. So that'll be coming in the new year. Let's get started. Okay, gentle yoga for today. Let's start on our backs. So again, maybe you brought yourself to your mat today to work through some things, just to find that calm and that silence for a moment, for 45 minutes. Whatever you're seeking today, take your time, go at your own pace, take extra breaths, spend extra time in a pose, whatever you need. But thank you for joining me here and pausing for this moment. So we'll start on our backs with those blocks if you have them. If you don't, no big deal. But maybe you want to stack one across the shoulder blades and the other one under the head. Noting how that feels. Some people like the block down the spine, which allows the shoulder blades to sort of drape on either side and to open up the heart. So you decide what feels best. And remember that if you have those blocks or a bolster or something of that sort, it's a great way to just not even have to meditate, but just to lay and just to be. Maybe you're starting your day or you're ending your day like that. Feel grounded on those blocks, opening that heart. So just keep that in mind. It's a very restorative posture. Allow yourself to wiggle into your mat, shake out whatever movement you need to, so again, you can find more stillness. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the mat, into the earth. Feel that floor supporting you. Notice if there are any places in your body that you can release a little more tension. I often find I'm holding things in my hips or my glutes. So very mindfully, very consciously notice. Can you wiggle in? Can you drop down a little more deeply? Walk your way up the body and or down. And just notice if you can drip and drop further into your mat. And once you arrive there with that feeling of heaviness or tension release, start to notice that breath. Where do you feel that breath in your body? What is that breath telling you today? If it feels rushed or choppy or really shallow, what can we do to deepen, lengthen, slow, smooth that breath? Maybe you can check in with yourself a few times during the day and just notice. But right now, be here, taking one breath and another, and on. You might take a big exhalation, audibly letting that breath out through the mouth. And notice if that releases something more for you to then have smoother, deeper breaths. Trying your best to let go of anything that's happened this week or all those to-do lists. Just put them aside. This is what matters right here, right now. Be on your mat and just be. Take one more round of breath, and then I invite you to set an intention for this practice. Did you bring a focus or an idea to your mat? Or are you letting that focus unfold now? Allow yourself that space to let it keep unfolding as we move through our practice. Noticing what you need, what your body needs from moment to moment. Let that intention set in. Take a couple more rounds of breath, spending a little extra time here today in this stillness with our breath. And when you're ready, we'll bring those hands to the belly, moving into our first pranayama. This is our 4-7-8 breath, the Dr. Andrew Weil 4-7-8 breath. It's good for working through some of that anxiety you might be feeling, or any depression that's coming up, or even insomnia, when you have that monkey mind that doesn't allow you to sleep soundly. So let your breath go. And in your next inhalation, take it in through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth like you're blowing through a straw. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go through the mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release those hands to your sides. And again, let's take a scan, starting at the top of the head. Is there any place you can release tension? Maybe you crunch up your face and then let it go. Shrug those shoulders, tighten the shoulders. Let them go. Ball up those fists really tight and let it release. Clench the glutes and the abs, clench those legs, those feet, and release. Shake it out. I'm going to remove these blocks from under my head and just give the body a little shake in whatever way, shaking out any wiggles or tension. And then we'll take a full body stretch. Notice how good that might feel. Woo! This might be your first big stretch of the day. Just relish it. And then exhale as you tuck those knees into the chest, slowly here, chin up to the knees. Breathe in, big inhalation. Exhale, scoop the arms around to those knees again. This time expand into that 5-pointed star. Maybe you hover those arms and legs, challenge the core. Exhale, hug those knees in. We'll take one more. Big breath in, take up space. And exhale, draw those knees in, rock back and forth. And we'll let those knees fall over to the right. If you want to take a block between or under the knees for support, please give yourself that opportunity to feel how we can work with our proportions and our flexibility and really draw those knees together. Allow those arms to go into a T, reaching those shoulder blades down to the earth. Maybe spread those fingers out again and take your gaze over the left fingertips. Notice any places you can release more deeply. And we'll inhale up to center. You might keep that block between the knees. Exhale, knees to the left. Take your gaze to the right. Enjoy that spinal twist. Inhale back up. And we'll plant those feet on the earth. Take another stretch here, breath in. And exhale, take that left hand down towards the left heel. Right arm can drape overhead. Stretching that right side body. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, that right arm down to the right heel. And back up. Take another full body stretch. Just let those heels slide out slowly, very mindfully moving those knees, those legs straighten. Take a stretch. Exhale, take those knees in again. So here's our forward fold as we warm up the spine. And then send those legs up to the sky. So you can keep that, the back, the shoulders lifted. And you might draw yourself up towards those ankles. So think about this as a forward fold if we were in Paschimottanasana, sitting upright. So a different orientation. Draw yourself up and then allow those shoulders to relax. You can bring those arms into a T and we'll bend those knees. We're going to take some spinal twists again. This is also going to get into the abdominals, so we don't typically do a lot of core work in our gentle practices. I save that more for the slow flow or the hatha. But see if this helps to get into that spinal twist. And again, you can always take or leave whatever parts and pieces of this practice that don't serve you. So arms out to a T, take a breath in with those knees bent. Exhale, slowly drop them over to the right. Only taking those knees as far as you can and keeping that left shoulder blade on the earth. Inhale back to center. Slowly exhale, knees to the left. And back and forth. Stay with your breath. Maybe you go a little farther with each round, feeling a stretch through the hip. Use the side abdominals to draw you back up, not the momentum of this posture, this movement. I like to close my eyes as much as I can during a practice and really just sense my body. So there's another sense called proprioception. And it's how we imagine, sense, feel ourselves in space. So it's that idea that you put your hand here and you can sense that your hand is in front of your face. Sometimes we take this sense for granted. It's not until we have an injury or a tear, a dislocation, that we feel disconnected. Keep this moving. So anyway, I like to close my eyes as much as I can and get even more in touch with how I feel my body moving through space. One more to each side. And back to center. Let's reach those heels up. Press through the heels. Breathe in. Exhale, just release the knees, soften. Inhale, press up again. Stretch those legs. Exhale, soften. Inhale one more time, reach up. Exhale, slowly draw that right leg down, flexing that foot. Keep pressing that left heel up, strong legs. Inhale, let's point the right foot, bring it back up slowly. Keep pressing that lower back into the mat. Exhale, take the left leg down. Press the lower back down. Stretch that right heel to the sky. Inhale, there goes my cracking ankle. No pain, I've had that since birth. And reach those heels up again and relax. Let's bend those knees. Take those feet down to the mat. Hip width apart, walk those heels in if you can. And we'll bring those hands to our sides. Notice your breath. Let it go. Moving into some pelvic tilt, so continuing to get into the back here. Actually, we haven't bent the back much yet, so that's what's coming next. So hands by your sides. In your next inhalation, raise the lower back off the earth. We just tilt the pelvis slightly, so moving the spine in 7 directions. Here's our back bend. Exhale, press it into the earth. Tighten the core. Inhale, lift the lower back. We'll take 3 of these. Exhale. 1 more. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. And moving into a deeper bridge here, a bridge series. So we're going to plant those hands. Feet are hip distance apart. In your next inhalation, slowly press into the hands and lift those hips up to the sky. Drive those heels into the earth. Imagine that as you're driving the heels down, you're lifting the knees up, so creating an isometric movement here. Find length between the knee and the heel, and then length between the knee and the hips, or even farther, the hips and the shoulders. Keep pressing the hips up. Imagine a long line from knees to shoulder. And speaking of those shoulders, relax the shoulders, relax the chest, the neck, the throat. Breathe. Lift a little higher. Strong legs. Exhale, release bone by bone. Restack or relay those bones of the back on your mat one at a time. How does it feel? All the way down. Inhale up. Reach those hips high again. This time maybe float the arms overhead. Reach those fingers long overhead. And even though we're engaging those arms and shoulders here, relax those shoulder blades. Lift the hips a little higher. Those arms don't have to be perfectly straight. You can soften the elbows. 1 more breath in. Exhale. Let's release those arms as we release the hips. Again, take your time bringing it all back down. 1 more bridge here. Lift those hips high. You might walk the shoulder blades together and clasp those hands or clasp opposite elbows underneath. Press the knuckles or the elbows towards the heels. Lift a little higher with the knees. Squeeze those thighs together. Strong legs. Open that heart. So we're opening the heart, stretching the chest, toning the upper back, toning the glutes, strong legs, back bend. Full body engaged almost. Breathe. 1 more breath as you take the hips higher. And release. Let those hands go. Slowly bring the hips down. Big breath out. Hug those knees. Rock back and forth. We'll cross at the ankles and start to rock along the length of the spine. Just take your time here. Once you arrive in a seated position, and I'm going to move to the front, just close the eyes and take a moment to notice. I'm right here. I feel my sit bones connected with my mat, supported by the floor. You might sit a little taller, roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Notice yourself breathing or swallowing. Just be. And we'll move into our next pranayama. So I'm going to open my eyes and share this with you. So this is Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. I'm not sure if we've done this in gentle yoga before, but if not, something new. So we're going to use our right hand, so I'm not going to mirror you on this. So we're going to use our ring finger and our thumb. The pinky's going to hang out. The pointer finger and middle can either go to the third eye, so that space just above the brow line, the center of the forehead, or they could tuck into the hand. Okay, so you choose with those first two fingers. And we close the right nostril with the thumb. Take your next breath in through the left, all the way up. Imagine crawling up or climbing up to the top of a mountain. Big breath in. Then we close the left nostril, open the right, and exhale, descend down that mountain. Equal breath in and out. Take a breath in through the right, all the way to the top. We close right, open left, exhale. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale. Take it in through the right. Close. Exhale left as you open. And then take it at your own pace. So the ratio is 1:1. Equal breaths in and out as you crawl up that mountain and you descend. Take your time. Maybe close the eyes. Finish this round that you're on, ending with an exhalation through the left where we began. And then release there. So Nadi Shodhana. The nadis are the energy channels that run throughout our body. And so we're trying to just balance here. So that main energy channel that goes up from the base of the spine all the way actually beyond the top of the head, the Sushumna, where all of those chakras, those main energy wheels are, those energy centers. That's where we're trying to focus here. So Nadi Shodhana is, if practiced frequently enough, you can actually do it without using the hand, and you can direct the air in and out of the nostrils. I'm not there yet, I'm still working on that. But it's good to use for centering, and especially around the change of the seasons. So we just moved into winter officially. And from an Ayurvedic standpoint, so Ayurveda being one of the sister sciences of yoga, we work a lot with our constitution, and seasonal changes play into that a lot. So here we are at the beginning of winter. So Nadi Shodhana is a good pranayama for that. Just a little fun fact for you. So here we're going to find a little bit of movement. Speaking of that main energy channel, the Sushumna, let's create some energy, circling that energy up to the top of the head. Move at whatever pace you want, but think about that breath as you go. So maybe you're speeding it up a little bit, inhaling around the back, exhaling forward. Let's switch directions. Maybe you take it really slowly, and you're just noticing how those hips feel as we rotate here. All the way back to center. Let's switch those legs. So whatever leg usually ends up being in the front, let's switch it up here. All right, let's take those arms up to the sky. Big breath in, Reach up, wiggle those sit bones into the earth, stretch. Exhale those shoulders away from the ears. Take another breath in, reach. And this time we're going to twist. So exhale towards that right side. So left hand hits the right knee. We make a kickstand with that other arm behind. You can always place the hand behind on a block. Finding more length. Take a breath in. And exhale, deepen this twist. Take a couple more rounds of breath, seeing if you can go even deeper with each round. And then as you inhale, take that back arm to the opposite knee. We're crossed at the elbows. You could hug opposite shoulders, maybe even give yourself a little hug. Take a moment here for that, wrapping your arms around yourself. Don't get a cramp in your pectoral like I am. And then you might twist your arms up into eagle arms. I saw 4 bald eagles this weekend. Speaking of eagles, so that was very, very cool. Taking the time to notice. Let's bring those hands up to the sky and maybe send those arms away from the body, feeling that stretch across the upper back. With your breath, go a little bit deeper, raising those hands. And even if you have the hands on opposite shoulders and not twisted, you could still raise those elbows up, getting that deeper stretch across the upper back. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly release. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, let's twist to the other side. Again, you can prop that back hand on a block if that helps you to find more length. Take a couple rounds of breath here and see if you can deepen this twist, starting at the base of the spine. Head is the last thing to come around. Your next inhale brings this back arm to the opposite knee, so arms are crossed knee opposite way now. You choose. Do you want to pause here, take that hug for a moment, give yourself a little love? Maybe then twist the arms deeper. You choose. Breath in. We raise those arms or hands. And we could send those elbows away, stretching through the upper back. Breathe. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly release. And then inhale up again. And let's shake those arms all the way out. We'll extend those legs now. So slowly let one leg and then the other stretch out. Notice what you're feeling. I think I hiked about 30 miles over the weekend, and so my legs were feeling it. I had a chance to stop and notice and take care. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Tap it out as you need to. Massage in any places. Remove the flesh from under those sit bones. Really get rooted here. And just take a moment to notice how it feels to flex those feet back. And let's point. Use your breath as you flex and point those feet. You could support yourself with the hands. And then my favorite, the floint. So we're going to point the feet, but then flex those toes back. This is where you might see how wonderfully those yoga toes can spread out. Again, one of those places I haven't quite moved into fully is spreading out all those toes. It takes some focus and consciousness. Release those legs, shake them out again. So we're going to move into a forward fold. If you'd like to use a strap around the feet to get a little deeper, take a moment to find your strap. And then when you're ready, big breath in. Exhale, imagine reaching out beyond the feet first. So reach out of those hips and then start to fold more deeply. So length first and then depth. Tuck that chin slightly. Next breath in takes us back up. Exhale, let's hug that left knee in. Give it a big hug here. We could rotate through that ankle. And we'll gradually move that leg so we can hug or cradle here. So keep that tall spine. So if you feel like you're leaning back, see if you can find more length here. And then cradle, rock that leg back and forth. And we'll plant that foot across the long leg or on the same side if that's where the foot lays flat. Let's circle this right arm around, making that kickstand again. And we'll take the left elbow, hug or hook that around the knee. Take a big breath in, lengthen that spine, and then exhale, find that twist. One more breath in, and release. Take that counter turn. Notice any shifting in the spine, back to center. Let's bring this leg to its own side. And we can make a little basket under the foot. So either with your strap or with your hands, draw that heel in a little bit closer. And then find length here in the spine. Take a breath in. And exhale, start to slowly extend that heel out. The leg does not have to be straight. And this is our first stretch like this, so I certainly wouldn't expect anyone to go into a full expression on this first stretch. Notice how that hamstring feels. Take another breath in, lengthen the spine, and exhale, press a little more through that heel. Take another breath in, and exhale, slowly guide that foot down. Guide it all the way out. Take care. And we'll move to the other side. First, inhale. Sit nice and tall. Exhale, scoop that right knee in. Breathe. How lucky we are to have this space to breathe together today. Our yoga practice does not have to be this intensity every day. We're moving our bodies, and even if we're moving our bodies, we might be moving our breath. So it's about taking time for yourself in whatever way. Rock, cradle that leg back and forth. Check in with that spine. Can you lengthen here? And then let that foot either cross or stay on the same side. Rotate through the shoulder. You hug or hook the elbow. Take a breath in. And exhale, find a deeper twist. One more breath in. And release into that counter turn. Come back to center. We'll bring this foot to its own side. Make that little basket here again. Find length first. Take a breath in. Exhale. Slowly send that heel out. Take your time and try to find a little bit more length with each subsequent breath. And slowly release. Guide that leg all the way out very consciously, mindfully, slowly, with control, release. Shake those legs. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. You can even slowly draw those knees in. Rock back and forth, rooting through those sit bones. And find that tall spine again. Draw those knees down. Before we even take a fold, just start to draw those knees down, pull the navel in, breath in, and then exhale, start to fold. So you could rearrange those hands around the feet, the toes. You could spread those feet out like a book. Maybe you take ankles and gently press the knees down a little bit more. Find one more breath as you reach the crown of that head out, keeping those sit bones in place. Exhale, fold. Next breath brings you back up. We'll keep the soles of those feet together. And we're going to walk down onto our backs. So slowly lower down, guiding yourself on those forearms. Take your time. Bring those arms overhead when you arrive. You could Place one open palm on top of the other, letting those elbows go wide, mimicking the shape of the knees. Press that lower back into the earth. Relax the head. Take a breath in. And then exhale, slowly float those arms down to the belly. Keep one hand on the belly. The other can rest either on the rib cage or the chest. Moving into our last pranayama. This is our 3-part complete breath in Durga breath. So take an inhalation. Notice the belly rises. The rib cage expands and then the chest goes up. As you exhale, that belly goes down, the rib cage closes, and the chest lowers. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. So if you feel that the order of that movement is different in your body, that's fine. Just notice 3 parts of your breath on both the inhale and exhale. Take one more round of this 3-part breath. And then we'll slowly reach those arms out to the sides in a T. Take another breath in with those knees wide. And exhale, draw that left knee over to the right. Pin those knees together, and when they come as close as they can, slowly open knees again as you inhale. And then exhale, draw the right to the left, keeping those shoulder blades on the earth. One more round. Inhale, knees wide. Exhale, close. Notice that full body or full spinal twist. Back to center. Take any other movements, stretches, postures that you wish before we move into our final relaxation in Shavasana. And that can look like whatever you want. If you want knees to the sky, falling in on each other, keeping those knees wide, or maybe you lie flat. Maybe you take a block under the head. Whatever suits you. And remember that if you want to take this Shavasana beyond the close of our practice, you have your space and as much time as you need to integrate. Notice other places you can release. And breathe normally here. start to bring your attention back to this space. Find a little bit of movement in your body, wiggle fingers and toes, take a stretch. Maybe you pull knees into the chest, rock. Make your way to one side of your mat. Rest your head on that arm. Take a breath. When you're ready, press up to seated. You can keep those eyes closed. Bring hands to heart center. No matter where you are on your journey, this week, year, or lifetime, I thank you so much for pausing today to share this practice with all of us. The light, love, and peace in me recognizes and honors the light, love, and peace in each of you. Namaste. Thanks again for joining me. Thank you for your patience in schedule changes and in hearing musings there in the beginning. I hope that you'll join me for Yoga Zone tomorrow. We had a special request for some back bends. No worries, it's not going to be like full Chakrasana wheel pose, but maybe just preparing your back to be a little bit more flexible. We'll see where we go. So join me. You might feel challenged, but you can always take it wherever you want. So once again, I thank you. I hope you find some stillness and some silence in your day or your holiday season here. Please take time to check in with yourself. You are worth it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a peaceful day.